Solitary is a British film with a budget so low that it can't even afford a Wikipedia page. That being said, it's not a bad little film. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's an interesting little idea that with a little more tidying up could have resulted in a pretty solid looking film. The basic idea of a man waking up to discover he's a prisoner sent into space to form Earth's first colony, and worse, his cellmate Alana is hell-bent on destroying everything, is full of possibility. An enclosed space from which there is no hope of escape, an unknown quantity in the form of the cellmate, extremely limited resources, a lead character discovering everything at the same time as the audience. All good stuff. Let's see how they're messing up. For a start, if the whole appeal of your film is two people being trapped in one of Doctor Who's old sets, then keep the focus of your film about two people being trapped in one of Doctor Who's old sets. Having flashbacks every 20 minutes about things that the audience either doesn't care about or already knows about doesn't make your world bigger or more believable. It destroys tension, depletes the budget, and breaks the flow of the film. I don't care how either of these people was caught and put in the capsule. I don't care about their crimes. From the fact that they're being blasted to another planet on one-way trip, I'd already assumed they'd done something unforgivable like...
And people who talk at the theatre.
Or praising a James Corden film. I've seen films of this type before and know they work when we are trapped in the situation with our protagonists. Ivan Locke never got out of the car. Paul Conroy never got out of the box he was buried alive in. But here, every time we get some tension going, we get a pointless flashback set on Earth, and then we're back on the spaceship where the situation has changed, but since we never saw the situation change, we feel disconnected from it. Which is a shame, as this film has some nice little touches. I mean, you get the expected issues with oxygen, water, and a power steadily depleting as a capsule is designed to dock the mothership before heading to... I'm going to assume Mars? The film doesn't actually state where our leads were supposed to be going, but their pod is forced to become a lifeboat, a task for which it was not designed, and the chance of some Apollo 13 style round peg in a square hole improvisational heroics flies merrily over this film's head. There are, however, a couple of nice little touches. For example, the pod has the ability to call Earth, but for reasons can only send or receive 10 calls a month, which adds a nice little ticking clock / declining lifelines with which to torment our leads. Do they accept a call from the media to try and help get the public on their side, or do they take a call from ground control and hope that somehow a rescue plan has been formulated and this is the call where the plan comes together?
And I love it when a plan comes together.
Or should you simply call your loved ones and let them know what's happening and possibly say goodbye? There are some nice performances from our leads as well, with well-drawn characters, even if they could stand with doing with slightly more grey in their characters' past and actions. Another thing that removing the flashbacks might have helped, as we have decided if we trust these people's words without evidence, because towards the end it's all gone a bit silly. I mean, I liked the ending, but what happened in the 10 to 15 minutes before that was starting to push credibility a little bit. Look, at the end of the day, Solitary is a low-budget British film from a first-time feature-length director who has taken that 4-minute short and crafted a solid little film which didn't really have any deal-breakers in it. There were no terrible-looking space battles or real breaks in logic. Yes, the main set did look a bit like a set, but suspending disbelief is part and parcel of science fiction. All Solitary had to do was strip out its flashbacks, add some more shades of grey to its leads, and this could have been a film to base a pretty interesting career off of. Instead, it's a rough start and the film itself is watchable. It just could have been more as two confused people, unsure as to whether or not they can trust each other, try to survive against impossible odds to get back to a planet that's already decided it doesn't want them. And all the while, the oxygen ticks down. So if nothing else is on, check this out. Otherwise, just don't bother. But what do you guys think, and what is your favourite trapped in space film that isn't Apollo 13? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel. It's been Dunky. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe.